Ladies and gents, in front of us today we have the Benchmade Osborne 940-1. This is the upgraded version with the S90V steel and carbon graphite handles, handle scales to lighten things up. I've also put an aftermarket carbon graphite clip on there that I chamfered off myself. It was a little sharp around the edges when I initially got it, so some minor modifications allowed that to be a little bit more comfortable. So we'll just get this cleaned up for us a bit here. Probably should have done that before the video, but here we go. All right, so for a size comparison, we have the PM2, which this knife is often pitted against. We have the Ontario Rat number 1. So you can see it's smaller than the Rat number 1, a little bit smaller than the PM2. However, as far as cutting edge goes, it's got a little bit more of a cutting edge than the PM2. If we line them up here, you can see that the cutting edge, you've got a little bit more of it with your Osborne, even though the knife is overall smaller. You can pretty much fit the Osborne inside of the PM2 pretty much. Alrighty, so like I said, we'll get to the particulars. Some impressive stats on this knife. We're looking at an overall length of 7.87 inches, a blade length of 3.4, blade thickness, it's not overly thick stock, it's 0.12 inches, awesome blade steel, very good to go. You can see here it's S90V Osborne design. And they're calling this a Tonto. However, no, I'm not with it. But it's coming in at a startlingly light 2.44 ounces with a cutting length, with a blade length of 3.4 and 2.4 for weight, and I've managed to cut that down even a little tiny bit more with that carbon graphite pocket clip. As far as your blade length to ounce ratio, you are coming in well below your Goldilocks zone there. So I mean, it is good to go as far as blade length to weight ratio. The action on it, I gotta say, definitely. It is a snappy thumb stud knife. And as far as ergos go, it's pretty good to go. You get a bit of a hot spot with the pocket clip. There's a little bit of a issue with the pocket clip there. It's not the most comfortable position in the hand, but you know, I've definitely felt a lot worse. I've definitely felt a heck of a lot worse. That's not too bad. It's definitely something that I can live with. Got a little bit of a beard here when they were sharpening it down at the sharpening choil. I don't know if you can see that or not. See if we can kind of focus in on that. Little bit of a beard. So that could have been done a wee bit better. As far as the grind on the blade goes, it is quite slicey. I've had no problem cutting things with it. No blade wiggle. Excellent action on it. I do like the grinds. I gotta say though, as far as price goes, bit of an issue there. You're looking at $270 American, or about $360 Canadian. And you know, like, it's a good knife. You're looking at some good steel, some good handle scales. You know, you kind of got the screws sticking out a little bit in there, and for that kind of price, I'd be hoping that they, you know, just take a couple of thou off of that. That'd be kind of nice. And yeah, I mean, the price for what you can get out there, for what you can get out there that's comparable in quality. You can get a knife out there that's comparable in quality, and you can save yourself a few shillings. You know, your PM2 with your S110 comes in quite a bit lower than this, and it's quite often what this knife is compared to. I mean, you're looking at some pretty good stuff being pumped out by Civivi. I mean, you can get the Kershaw Link with M390 steel for, you know, under $100. So I mean, you've got some pretty compelling options out there that are using some high quality materials, and they're really not slouching all that much on the fit and finish. And you can get in well below the price point that that this particular knife is coming in on. So I would say if I were to rate this thing out of 10, I'd kind of be leaning towards a 7. You know, I'd be doing better than that if it wasn't quite as expensive as it is. You know, couple issues with the fit and finish, but I do like the black back spacers. And as far as the action goes, I mean, it's really hard to argue with the action. It's easy to see why the 940 is one of the best sellers that Benchmade has. Although we do have the Bug Out, which is a recent addition to the Benchmade family, which is making it's making its presence felt, and definitely for good reason. And one of the reasons that the Bug Out is really making its presence felt is because you can get 2 of them for the price of one of these. 2 and a bit, like 2.5 for the price of one of these. And the Bug Out isn't half as good, less than half as good as this. The Bug Out is, you know, it's a decent knife. So there are other options available to you out there. I might recommend buying this on the secondary market. You can they pop up, and they quite often go for less than the 270 US or 360 Canadian. So you might want to check there out. You know, try not to pay the butterfly tax. And definitely you're going to want to handle these things. You're going to want to handle it before you buy it, because as it has been pointed out in other videos about Benchmade by other reviewers, the quality control on these is spotty sometimes, I guess you could say. So definitely want to handle it before you buy it. You know, don't just buy sight unseen, or buy from a reputable dealer that'll take it back after you buy it, and so on and so forth. So overall impression of the knife, it's not bad. It's decent. It's a well-made knife. It's definitely a well-made knife that will stand up to the tasks that you set before it. It's got good quality steel. It's got good quality handles. The stock clip that it comes with, there's nothing wrong with that. And you're looking at a nice knife in hand. You know, if you don't mind paying the price, then okay, go ahead and get it. But otherwise, I would recommend looking for it on the secondary market. Anyway, that is our Benchmade Osborne 940-1. You guys have yourself a great day, and we'll see you next time.